Hello everyone, this is Amanda McGuire and this is my week 7 discussion board for NPA 560. As I believe most of you know by now, the program I've chosen is the Riverside Play Program, which is run by the Riverside Police Department, volunteers who teach children ages 7 to 13 sports. For this week's discussion, we're going to be discussing the qualitative design. The Riverside Play Program is designed to offer free sports to children, specifically targeting children ages 7 to 13 in low-income households. So with that in mind, using a qualitative design, I would look for patterns of this youth age group, 7 to 13, that come from low-income households who are also arrested for misdemeanors. In order to look at the different options for qualitative design, the first one that I felt was a fit is case study. And then looking at the other options, I looked at ethnography design, which is basically not going to work because there's no way for me to, as the researcher, put myself into this group of 7 to 13-year-olds living in a low-income household. So that doesn't work. So looking at the case study option of qualitative design further, the reason that this would work is it focuses on a particular group and has a limited number of cases to look for this pattern. So in this case, looking at a limited number of cases in a city that's as big as Riverside would still be enough to get a pattern of whether or not children from low-income households are more likely or less likely to be arrested for a misdemeanor. In order to do this, I would look at gathering data with qualitative data number 1, interviewing, as well as qualitative data number 3, which is documents and artifacts with a combination of content analysis. So I would look at both interviewing parents of children or the children themselves coming from low-income households and seeing how that affects them on a day-to-day basis, interviewing the police department and asking how many individuals they see that are in this age group coming from households with lower income as well. And then on top of that, I would also look at different data, arrest records, and things like that from the police department to determine how many are misdemeanors in this age group and where those children come from, and then comparing it to data based on household income as well. One concern with reliability, though, would be the interview, the honesty that you would get from people, as well as myself as the interviewer, making sure that I'm impartial and not using leading questions and things like that. And then a validity concern would be, there's actually 2. The first is determining the criteria. So figuring out what the actual threshold level is for low income and determining, that these are specific to these age groups and the misdemeanor and that kind of thing. And then the other thing is the validity of the documentation itself. Looking at arrest records and things like that, there's sometimes cases that are thrown out, so there's more data that needs to be analyzed with that as well. And that's all I have for this week. Thank you. I hope everyone has a good day.